shockwave propagation. Because in real life, gunshots don't just stay inside rooms, they escape them. So thanks to organic reverb, we now understand how shockwaves travel through spaces. If somebody fires inside a corridor...
I've never heard that in a game in my life. I take everything back. This is mental. And if they're doing this level of sound audio design, this level of quality, this level of innovation, speaks volume for the rest of the game. These guys are insane.
You don't only hear the gunshot, you hear the blast wave rushing through the corridor itself.
They should sell this technology to all games and just make a fortune. Here we go, another Bodycam devlog. This time focus on sound design. Jesus, that's loud. I guess war is loud. Some of the frantic reloads and the stressful situations maybe a bit there from the first devlog. Sounds a bit scary, not gonna lie. Let's see what we got here. Wine and dine me.
When Bodycam first launched to early access, one thing players immediately loved were the gunshots.
Yeah, it was loud as hell.
They already felt raw, violent, and powerful, but realism has always been our obsession. And we kept asking ourselves, what are games still missing? Most games try to make gunshots sound cinematic by bringing big bass, big punch, and a big Hollywood explosion to top that off. But real gunshots don't feel cinematic. They feel dangerous. Because in real life, a gunshot isn't just a sound, it's a shockwave.
They're really trying to like reimagine FPS shooters. That's what it feels like. Like, let's not just copy and paste the wheel. Let's fucking reinvent the wheel and better.
Air moves, the walls react, the ground vibrates. And the first time you hear a real weapon fired close to you, it's usually terrifying. So instead of making gunshots sound cooler, we wanted them to sound real. To achieve that, we built an entirely new system called organic reverb.
Okay, no idea.
This is a fully dynamic system that understands the environment around every single gunshot in real time.
I mean, I'm sorry, look at that foliage. It looks real to me.
This system understands room size, ceiling height, openings in windows and corridors, how enclosed the space is, and how much air can escape it. Everything is analyzed dynamically to make every detonation physically react to its environment. Fire inside a tiny bathroom.
That's not too crazy. Games simulate that quite often. Sounds like they've nailed it though.
And the pressure has nowhere to go. The bass becomes overwhelming, the shockwave violently bounces around the room, and the entire space feels compressed. However, in a bigger room...
Many games have done that though already.
The sound breathes more, with longer tails, with more air, and with more space.
It sounds good, though. The animations are so good.
But organic reverb didn't just allow us to change the gunshot itself. It also allowed us to simulate something almost no game does: shockwave propagation. Because in real life, gunshots don't just stay inside rooms, they escape them. So thanks to organic reverb, we now understand how shockwaves travel through spaces. If somebody fires inside a corridor...
I've never heard that in a game in my life. I take everything back. This is mental. And if they're doing this level of sound audio design, this level of quality, this level of innovation, speaks volume for the rest of the game. These guys are insane.
You don't only hear the gunshot, you hear the blast wave rushing through the corridor itself.
They should sell this technology to all games and just make a fortune.
Traveling through the space, leaving the room, and reaching the player 100% naturally.
Yeah, this game's a horror game, I'm not asked.
And those interior shockwaves are not just realistic, they're gameplay information. Because now players can instinctively follow the pressure wave to locate the shooter. Almost like the environment itself guides you towards the gunfight.
Yeah, I've never heard that in a video game in my life.
But organic reverb also allowed us to simulate exterior shockwaves. Because once that system understood openings dynamically, it can also understand how pressure escapes outside.
Jeez, it sounds like a horror movie.
So now when somebody fires next to an opening, you don't just hear the indoor gunshot. You hear the air pressure violently escape outside into the world.
Yep, never seen that in a video game as well. These guys are literally just reinventing the wheel, but better. I don't know if there's any other game in history that's ever done this. Let me know if I'm wrong.
And that's where we realized something really, really interesting. Because once that system understood the room itself, it also understands whether the gunshot should behave like an indoor or outdoor detonation. So now when you progressively move from outside to inside while firing,
Yeah, that's a lot better because normally in video games, it's normally like you're either inside or outside, and it's like an on-off switch, and it's very obvious it's not smooth, or they fade it out. That sounds pretty
the
smooth.
gunshot smoothly evolves
Yeah, there you
with
go.
the environment. No sudden audio switch,
Yeah.
no artificial transition.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
also took the opportunity to improve every other aspect of sound propagation in Bodycam. So gunshot occlusion has completely been reworked, so that when somebody fires behind a wall,
I'm shaking my head right now because it feels like they're going after a lot of games and saying, this is how you fucking make a game.
the sound now behaves much more naturally.
Yeah, you could say, oh, I don't like the body cam angle of this game, but you either like it or you don't. But either way, the sound design is fucking impressive.
Voice communication has also received a major upgrade.
That seems okay. It's almost like saying, oh, I don't like football, but you've got to respect the skill. And a lot of people like it. Now that sounds good. That's when you really notice the difference when he's further away and he actually sounds like he's over there. And he sounds like he's so far away.
We also improved vertical audio positioning, meaning it's now much easier to understand if a player is above you
Yes.
or below you.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I struggle so much with that. I always think, are they below or above me, or even sometimes in front or behind me? I always struggle with that in video games. Please, please, please sell this to every other fucking game, please.
Simply by opening your ears. And because organic reverb affects every detonation in the game, grenades also adapt dynamically to their surroundings. And honestly, guys, all of these systems combined together complete a completely different kind of chaos.
Yeah, a horror movie chaos. That's what it is. You need to book yourself in for some doctor's appointments after you play this one. You need to lay down on the couch and tell your experiences. Just two guys in the room, start blasting. It's scary, this game, man. Looks scary as fuck. The graphics as well, look at that. It looks real. It's like, when you play VR games, this is what you imagine it to be like. But this is actually like this, if that makes sense.
But gunshots weren't the only sounds we revisited. Every improvement we made to environmental audio, we also applied to one of the most important sounds in the game, the player itself. So for this update, we completely rebuilt Bodycam's movement audio system from the ground up. And one of the biggest parts of the overhaul were footsteps.
Okay.
We completely rebuilt our entire footstep system from the ground up. We redesigned 38 different
Was that a pun from the ground up? I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too deep.
footstep surfaces from wood and metal to snow, mud, concrete, and much, much more.
I want to know who the developers look like Do they actually touch grass, or are they actually audio freaks? Because this is insane. Not this part, but the other
But
part.
we didn't just stop at different materials, because even a single surface can have multiple variations. Because the polished concrete inside a gymnasium doesn't sound anything like the destroyed floor of an abandoned warehouse. So instead of just creating one concrete sound, we created different variations from polished concrete, dusty concrete,
Different footsteps sound on different materials has been done many times,
damaged concrete,
but they've just done it very well.
grippy sidewalk concrete,
Combine that with everything else, you've created an immersive experience.
and concrete
GG.
covered in dirt and debris. The same philosophy was applied across every single material, making every environment sound as unique as it looks. But what happens when you suddenly change direction? In real life, your shoes don't just hit the ground. They're constantly pivoting, gripping, and sliding across the surface. So we recreated those sliding sounds for all 38 surfaces.
Of course
so
you
let's
did.
go back to our concrete example. This is clean polished concrete.
Any NBA fans, let me know if that's accurate or not. Does that sound good? I don't know.
Very smooth, very controlled. It's really sharp. Now compare it to heavily damaged, rough concrete.
The attention to detail is...
You can hear the gravel, the tiny debris crushing under the shoe, but honestly, even after all of that work, something still felt wrong. Because in real body cam footage, you never hear the world directly. You hear the world through the camera. And once we started rebuilding the entire audio mix around that idea, Bodycam started sounding like raw footage. We recreated all the little artifacts real cameras constantly generate. When you run now, the impacts travel through the operator's body, into the chest rig, into the helmet, creating tiny shocks and vibrations inside the microphone, exactly like a real body cam. We also built a fully dynamic wind system directly inside the body cam's microphone. When you sharply rotate, the airflow dynamically changes direction inside the camera.
Are you for real? A wind system for the camera? These guys are on another level. I tell you what, this game keeps getting better and better. And instead of, I know that sounds obvious and like, well, of course it does. But there's many early access games that just plateau or jump around in circles. Puts them to shame, honestly. This is good.
Turn left, the wind hits the left microphone harder. Turn right, it shifts to the right. And when you move, the more aggressive it becomes.
Yeah, attention to detail is through the roof. Incredible.
And yes, inside a building, the wind is attenuated.
You know, I wouldn't even think of that. Wouldn't even think of it.
Even interacting with the camera itself completely changes the soundscape. When your character readjusts the body cam, the entire audio mix becomes muffled.
Of course it would. Who are the peasants who wouldn't even think of that? Definitely not me. Jesus Christ.
Exactly like a real camera.
These guys are doing stuff that you wouldn't even think of.
The audio overhaul didn't stop at movement. Our sound designers rebuilt every single reload from the ground up, giving each action more weight, detail, and authenticity. Recording and designing every click, every rattle, every impact, and every mechanical interaction by hand.
Love it.
While most modern shooters try to make audio sound like a movie, we're trying to make it sound real.
Because they're going after all games, I swear. Just rubbing the salt in. Come on, you're telling me that that does not look real? YouTube AI is going to be on my ass if I upload this. I'm telling you that now, put it that way. That's how real it looks. I'm even watching, I'm shitting myself looking at this.
Not because realism is a feature, but because it's the only way to make you forget you're listening to a video game.
Say that line again, Sonny Jim. Say that line again.
Not because realism is a feature, but because it's the only way to make you forget you're listening to a video game. That's the philosophy behind every sound inside Bodycam.
That is the quote of the season right there. Because it makes you forget you're playing a video game, and that's the level they're on. Oh my god, I want to see another devlog at this point. I mean, I'll just let it run back. Let's just have a little talk. Let's have a fucking debrief. I never thought I'd have a little debrief and talk after a sound thing. I thought, this is my first kind of like reaction video. What would I talk about? Yeah, sit down, Sonny. These guys have just done a masterclass in sound and design. Jesus Christ. Whoever did worked on this sound design needs a fucking raise. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to knock it, really. What are you going to say? That, like, okay, I don't like the body cam, you may say. Cool, then it's not for you. But if you like that kind of body cam footage look, Bob's your uncle, you know what I mean? You're going to be all over this. And I haven't actually got my hands on it yet. I'm looking forward to. We'll see how that goes. We've only just got given access to this early on to be released at a certain date. So take that for what you will. But I don't think it changed my reaction and my opinion at all in my experience. You guys know. You can see the rest of the channel. You can see this is just who I am, and you know, we'll see what happens when I get my hands on it. If I get my hands on it, we'll see how that works. I mean, it just looks like real life. I challenge anyone to play this in a dark room. I guess they say war's hell and war's scary. This game looks scary to me. So they've nailed something there. Like, at first I was like, oh cool, you simulated sound. Cool, what's the big deal? And then they just hit you with this shockwave stuff. And it's like, oh, I have to retract my statements. These guys are just, normally games, I think what it is a lot of games say they simulate something. And it's really just like a certain distance to trigger a different sound effect. It sounds like these guys are, when they say they're simulating something, they are actually simulating something. Because normally in video games, it's like, oh, if I shoot this gun in a building, therefore play this sound effect. If I shoot a building outside, play this sound effect. And it's normally like a binary on-off thing. Whereas this one it's like, you've seen the smooth transition. Absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. I've had my eye on this game for a while. For a long, long time, I've been keeping an eye on this game. And I think it's finally time to pull the trigger. When they're pulling this nonsense, and I say that in a good way, nonsense. When they're pulling this type of shit, that's when you know to pull the trigger. Like, what the hell? I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing more. I want to see more. I want to know more. This could be great fun. Absolute great fun. I'll let the video play out now with no voiceover from anyone, so you can listen to them sweet, sweet gunfire and reload sounds. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let me know if you like this type of content, because this is the first time I've ever done something like this. There will be another long fun video coming soon. See you next one.
Y'a quelqu'un là-bas, y'a quelqu'un là-bas.